Welcome to the Deco Minimalist. My name is Carrie, and today we're going to be talking about vintage style shoes. And shoes are a common stumbling block when it comes to building a vintage style wardrobe, mainly because you can't make them yourself unless you're someone like Nicole Rudolph. Nicole Rudolph does make her own shoes, and I'll link some of those resources down below, but assuming you're not a maker extraordinaire or want to put the time into learning that skill set, vintage style shoes are sort of what you need to look for, and they can be really hard to find, particularly if you're drawn to really vintage, if you're looking for something that has the detail and sort of the little style nuances of a lot of shoes from previous decades. So for me, that would be the 1930s. And finding shoes like that can be really difficult, and a shoe shape can really, and like a shoe style can really make or break an outfit or a wardrobe in general. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to make this video, and I'm going to be showcasing the shoes that I have currently from a variety of brands, and mostly spring and summer shoes just because that's the season that we're in. But I will also be linking below other shoe brands that I know of that do either vintage reproduction or sort of vintage inspired shoes. And please feel free to let me know in the comments, are there any other brands that you know of that I haven't mentioned? I would really love to learn more, and yeah, I hope you find this video useful. I will also be sort of showcasing how I pair my shoes with my accessories to create a very sort of vintage inspired look. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, and here we have the first pair. These are in no particular order, but this is the first pair of vintage style shoes I think I ever bought. These are the Cassandre by Remix Vintage, and yeah, just a lovely kind of sporty late 1920s, early 1930s shoe. It has these like elastic straps across the front there. Yeah, really nice, elegant but casual summer shoe. I really enjoy those. And these are the Hazel pumps by American Duchess. Like all American Duchess shoes, they have leather bottoms, so yeah, I was very pleased to have a basic 1930s style pump in ivory. As you'll see in a second here, I also have them in black, and yeah, I love the shape of them, the pointed tongue with the bows. It's just really both like classic but also a bit of an unusual piece, so I'm very happy to have both of these styles. Yeah, just I think a good classic item to have in one's shoe collection. These are the Judy pumps in Cognac. These are from Memery shoes, a late 1920s design with the double strap. You'll see if you watch shows like Downton Abbey or shows set in the late 1920s, you'll see a lot of these shoes with the single or double strap across the front. And yeah, I love the rich cognac brown. I think Memery does that very well. I discovered Memery shoes, I think just last year, if I remember correctly. I was looking on Pinterest and found someone had pinned a photo of one of their shoes, and I thought it was an actual like vintage, true vintage item. And then I found the website and was like, oh my God, like how have I not heard of you before? I think this was the first pair I ever got from them. These are the Juliette Oxfords in black, and I really love these. This style, it has this sort of slight leather detail design, which you'll see later in the video. This is the one in Cognac. I probably wear this shoe the most. If you were to look at the bottom, you'll see that. Yeah, just a really nice classic shoe with the almond toe, and again, this lovely cognac brown color. It's really excellent. And these are the Ester Oxfords, more of a lower heel in black suede, also from Memery. And yeah, this is a suede that comes with these really lovely velvet laces. I think this would be a good option actually if you're sort of just starting to get into vintage style. I think this kind of low-heeled shoe would be a good substitute for something like ballet flats. It sort of performs a similar function in one's wardrobe, but it's a little bit more vintage, a little more interesting, I think. So if you're interested in getting a pair of vintage style shoes, I think, and this sort of would fit with your style. I think this Ester Oxford is supposed to be is sort of emulating 1940s styles. I think if it would fit in your wardrobe, if it's an era that you're drawn to, I think that would be a good place to start. And while we're on the subject of shoes, I mentioned in my last video that I like to match like my accessories to my shoes, and I thought I would give some examples of that in this video, and also how to, in terms of thinking about mood and the mood that you want to create through your outfits and the pieces that you have. I'm going to sort of show how I do that with the items that I have. So here, for example, we have the Hazel pumps with a white beaded vintage purse that I have, or clutch, I suppose. And I think obviously this is for a more like fancier look, and you can see that that the purse, like the beaded design, it sort of elevates the look, and therefore it's better paired with, say, the Ivory Hazel pumps than with, for example, the Cassandre shoe. I think the perforation and the two-tone, the Cassandre shoe just has a little more of a casual vibe, and therefore it creates this sort of clashing mood with the beaded purse, for example. I think so I would pair the Cassandre with like a leather Ivory purse, and I think that would the vibe of both of those pieces sort of play off of each other more and don't have this sort of sudden contrast, which, I mean, you could do a sudden contrast if you want to. That's just not how I prefer to do things. And this is a close-up of the leather work on the Juliette Oxfords, and I would, for example, pair this with one of the black leather bag that I have with this like kiss lock clasp and stuff. I think, again, the mood, the kind of businessy kind of vibe plays off each other really well. This is again a smaller leather kiss lock purse that has a very similar cognac brown color to both the Juliette Oxfords in brown and also the Judy pumps. So I would pair this bag with either of these shoes. And again, well, you can see my cat, one of my cats, but you can also see the leather perforation. And yeah, I think this bag is sort of casual because of all the, I got this bag secondhand, so you can see it's a little bit worn, but also the kiss lock clasp makes it a little more elevated. So I think I could wear this with, or pair this with either of these shoes, and then you can just see how I've laid out, well, my cat's kind of taking over here, but I've laid out all of the bags that I have to kind of go with particular shoes. So you have this sort of vintage satin purse with Hazel pumps. Again, this larger leather bag with, could go with either of the other black shoe options that I have. And yeah, the beaded purse with the Hazel pumps and so on. So yeah, I think that's just an example of how I do things in terms of pairing, making sure that I'm trying to color match things, but also making sure that I'm creating a mood that is like a consistent mood with the accessories that I choose to have in an outfit. And I don't do a lot of accessorizing, so I tend to focus mainly on bags and shoes just because they're sort of basic items, if that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video to be useful, and I hope everyone has a lovely rest of the week. I will be back in about a week and a half with another video. All right, thanks so much, guys. Bye.